do our best to try to translate the main messages so the Edge citizens can understand. Y para que ustedes puedan entender, vamos a tratar de hacer, digamos, como sintéticamente los mensajes que se transmitan 100% en inglés. ¿Okay? A mi cerebro le cuesta un montón ir de un lado al otro, pero lo vamos a hacer, va a ser un experimento colectivo. Okay, I'm saying that we'll make like a collective experiment on how the brain can translate and go from one to the other language, because I don't know if I have that capacity. Okay, para empezar, ¿por qué estamos acá? To start, why are we here? We are in the Regent House here in Edge City. Nosotros acá, entre nosotros, Ana y varios colaboradores, estamos organizando esta residencia dentro de este evento maravilloso que es Edge City. Okay, inside Edge City, you already know, citizens, we are organizing the Regent House, which is actually a hub, and we have a series of activities. And we have one main focus. Nuestro objetivo central es justamente conectar lo que está pasando en el mundo de Edge, en todo lo que se está trayendo en términos de nuevas tecnologías, nuevas visiones, nuevas herramientas, a las problemáticas que vivimos nosotros desde lo local. El objetivo es que no quede todo en un solo mes, sino que esto continúe, ¿no? O sea, como que realmente se genere una sinergia entre, digamos, entre humanos, básicamente. Eso es lo que queremos generar. And for the Edge citizens, the main idea of the Region Hub, the objective that or the challenge that we have is how do we connect actual, what's happening in this amazing world of Edge and this being in the vanguards of new technologies, wellness and spirituality, with the local people that basically living here, and after this month they will stay here. So the main challenge is how they will tell us a little bit about their reality, their challenges, their needs, and we have to be listening and see what of the tools that we bring, that we already have integrated, can work to solve some of these solutions. Because we truly believe from the recent side of the Web3 is that whenever we make the connection with what's happening in this world of the technology, okay, and what's happening on Earth, on people really working on the land, I have this image, like the new technologies is like air there in the Web3 arena, and the people working the Earth are on Earth, basically. If we make the bridge, we can accelerate the transition to a new paradigm, to a new civilization.
And that's part of the drive that we have behind everything that we are doing. Un poquito cortito para los que no hablan nada de inglés. La idea central es el mundo este de Edge trae nuevas tecnologías, herramientas y elementos que son muy interesantes y que ya se están ensayando soluciones a muchos de los problemas que tenemos, de cómo tomamos decisiones, cómo nos coordinamos, cómo alocamos capital y otro caso de cosas. Entonces, la idea es, ustedes van a presentar sintéticamente un poquito dónde están parados, cuáles son sus necesidades en el pitcheo inicial. La idea es que ellos escuchen y vayan pensando cuáles de las soluciones que ellos ya están trabajando pueden matchear con lo que nosotros estamos haciendo. El objetivo es 100% co-creativo y sinérgico, o sea, va a salir de acá lo que tenga que salir. La idea es que sea algo que justamente se prolongue en el tiempo. And for the English speaker, the main idea is whatever synergy emerges from here, it will be from here. It's not that we have something written before, okay? So this is a whole new experiment on seeing how it's a kind of localism or cosmo-localism. Yeah? Okay, you're representing the cosmo and they represent the localism. The local and the cosmo, okay? I think I'm trying to be the more clear I can. Okay? Si alguien de los que no habla nada de inglés no entiende nada, me avisa, levanta la mano y yo trato de resolverle esa traducción. Ok, sí, vamos con, les voy a contar un poquito cómo va a estar todo. En la medición de tiempo lo tenemos bajo velocidad. Está bien, por ahora. Está bien. Okay. Time is our enemy now, okay? So we have to make it a friend. We have to enjoy what's going to happen. This is the idea, okay? This is part of the welcome introduction. Esto es parte de la introducción. La idea es que dure 10 minutos, okay? donde vamos a presentar un poco lo que les estaba contando ahora. ¿Okay? Después va a venir Monty y nos va a contar de qué es ReFi DAO. Él, digamos, de alguna forma viene trabajando con esto hace tiempo. No, pensé que me decías algo. Okay. Y después le vamos a contar un poquito lo que estamos construyendo con el changuito desde Next State acá en Argentina. For the Edge citizens, basically this is the, you can understand this because it's in English. Okay, so I will assume you need it. Okay, if you have any questions, you just let me know. Project introduction, then that will be the moment, the highlight of the local organization. I know it's an effort for them to speak in English, so it will be for us good that basically we try to listen the best we can. O sea, que es un re desafío para todos nosotros hablar en inglés, pero siéntanse cómodos de que estamos todos entre amigos, estamos en familia, así que va a estar bueno. Vayan y digan lo que tengan que decir, que es lo importante. Bueno, introducción, la idea es que sean 30 minutos. Voy a ser guardián del tiempo, soy de Virgo, soy muy estricto, ¿okay? Así que yo a los 4 minutos voy a hacer un sonido, una armónica o con... A los 4 minutos. Ahí les queda 1 minuto para no ponerse nerviosos y donde sea que estén, wrap up, ahí juntan y dicen lo más importante que tengan que decir para cerrar la idea de lo de ustedes. Lo esencial es que hagan entender cuáles son sus necesidades y sus desafíos. ¿Ok? Bien específico. ¿Okay? Sé que es difícil, pero bueno, ese es el desafío de todos. Estaba ahí. Encourage them to learn. Okay. Y después viene un mini workshop, sé que está tarde y demás, pero bueno, la idea es que lo disfrutemos y que podamos entre todos ver qué magia sucede en esta interacción. After the pitch of the organizations, we will make a synergy mapping. The idea is for us to have like kind of in the good sense an intelligence of what's happening here, and for the citizens to know what they can offer to solve some of these things in time, ¿no? In long-term situation. De nuevo, acá el mapeo va a ser el workshop. Ahí los chicos están armando unas cartulinas donde van a haber 4 cuadrantes, donde vamos a tener los desafíos, las propuestas, bueno, esos otros cosas ahora se me fueron de la mente, pero la idea es que ahí ustedes vayan poniendo con post-its lo que cada organización va a estar dividido por organización. Y va a estar la organización y algunos de los ciudadanos de Edge ahí colaborando con ustedes, ¿no? Y la idea va a ser que de ahí salga lo que a nosotros nos va a servir después de inteligencia para poder machear y ver cómo en el tiempo podemos generar soluciones, ¿no? As I was saying that the organizations will be divided for them to fill these 4 quadrants of offerings, challenges, needs, and each of you guys will be different of the organizations, like following what they are doing and trying to start to think what we can do to help or to build, basically. That's the idea. And then, okay, finally, we will check all of the organizations. We will go one by one. So we make it a little interview so we can record what you developed. Okay. So again, all of les estoy hablando en inglés. Okay, me avisan, Sorry, I switched to Spanish. La idea después de que hacemos este workshop, o sea, vamos a pasar, como hacer una pequeña entrevista para que sinteticen en un audio lo que cada organización bajó. ¿Por qué? Porque eso es lo que después nos va a servir a nosotros para poder armar, si se quiere, como el proyecto grande para avanzar sobre lo que queremos hacer. Eso, and close and goodbye. Maybe, I don't know who will want because it's today is Tuesday, but afterwards we can go have a beer or something and just keep it chill. Okay? Digo que después si alguno está, vamos a tomar una birra por ahí, si les gusta la idea, a los que quieran. Okay, it's the time of Monty. Can we go to the presentation? Yeah. Okay. Un poco sobre Monty. Monty es un referente. He's Monty. Okay. Es un referente del mundo de las finanzas regenerativas. Se llama ReFi dentro del mundo Web3, que es todo lo que está pasando con blockchain integrado a Internet, haciéndoselas muy corto y lo más gráfico que pueda. Él, digamos, como que es un referente mundial de los que están tratando de utilizar blockchain para financiar proyectos locales. Se llama localism. Pero bueno, ahora lo dejo a él para que él se presente y haga su magia. Monty, the stage is yours. Si no le entienden nada, después de última, los que no hablen nada, yo les hago una mini traducción, ¿sí?
All right. Hello, hello. Is this working? I don't think it's working.
Welcome.
Okay.
Hola, hola.
Working. Okay, it's working anyway. I am going to speak in English, unfortunately.
Voy a hablar en
So I'm sorry about that, but Franz will hopefully translate.
voy a hablar en
Host the event. I wish I spoke Spanish.
es difícil.
You have to learn.
I have to learn.
You have to learn, my friend.
All right, I'm just going to give a quick introduction to Refi and Regen to try and orient and also introduce a bit of work we're doing with Refi DAO and with localism.
So we're here at Edge City. There's a definite crypto Web3 vibe of Edge City. And not everyone in this audience might be that familiar with crypto Web3, or maybe you have, and maybe you've seen some of this more questionable stuff in the media. Maybe you've seen the meme coins, you've seen Trump's coin, you've seen the casino, the memes, the silver version for the people back there. And so you'd be forgiven for thinking that this is all what crypto is about, if you see it just in the headlines. And so, how on earth could this crypto stuff be related to the regeneration of the planet and to environmental, social impacts? Maybe suspend your disbelief for just a second, and we'll see if that could be the case.
Yeah, so just to quickly introduce myself, I'm from England. Ooh, that's a bit louder, there we go. And this is my family here. I grew up in the countryside. And I come from a family of environmentalists. My mum wrote many books in environmentalism and sustainability, sold millions of copies and things. And so, yeah, I've been deeply immersed since my childhood about hearing about the destruction of our planet and the scary crisis that we face. And yeah, at the same time as being an environmentalist, I'm also a passionate technologist, and I studied economics and philosophy, and so became deeply immersed in this space called Refi, or regenerative finance, which I'll talk about a bit. Okay, got into the space, and since then I've helped allocate millions of dollars to projects, regenerative projects in the Web3 space.
Give me a minute, Monty, so I translate a little bit of your energy. Bueno, Monty nos cuenta un poco o sea, todo lo que sabemos del mundo Web3, probablemente nos venga casos locos como lo de Trump o lo de Libra, por ejemplo, pero lo que nos dice Monty es que hay mucho más que eso, y él se pregunta cómo puede este mundo ser utilizado, este mundo de Web3, para regenerar el mundo. Y después nos contó de que él viene de Inglaterra y que viene de una familia de ambientalistas. Su mamá es una ambientalista muy conocida, que ha publicado un libro que han leído millones, y él ya se nutrió desde ahí. Aparte, le gusta mucho la tecnología, y bueno, acá lo tenemos.
Great. Nice. I'm not going to spend too long on this slide. I think we all know the dire state that our planet is facing. Some pretty scary stats on here, but basically we're breaching many planetary boundaries and destroying the very systems that support life on Earth. So pretty scary stuff, and only really seeing these challenges kind of accelerate recently: geopolitical tension, wars, cost of living, acceleration of AI, authoritarianism, all this kind of depressing stuff that I don't want to spend too long on. But it's really, I think, a symptom of these different underlying crises, right? We've got the climate crisis, which we all might be aware of. But really, the climate crisis is just part of a set of interconnected crises, such as biodiversity, inequality, the poly crisis. And really, that is a symptom of these deeper underlying structural issues that our whole planet faces, perma crisis and the meta crisis. Our institutions and our systems were designed in the 20th century, and we now have exponential technologies and challenges that require radically new ways of coordination and new institutions to really solve them. And so that's kind of getting into this meta crisis.
Gracias. Thank you, mate. Nos está contando básicamente que el mundo se va a la mierda y que el planeta está jodido y que si no lo sabemos, bueno, hay muy buena data que ya lo avala a todo esto, y que tenemos que hacer algo, y que la tecnología nos puede ayudar mucho en la dirección de ese hacer algo para que, bueno, sobrevivamos.
Amazing.
I'm like translating like Japanese.
Yeah, super fast. I love it. Great. So basically, our current systems are fundamentally broken. We're not going to fix it with switching from plastic to paper straws. We need deep systems level change. Otherwise, we're heading to ever more of this and worse. So
that's the depressing part done. Where do we go from here? Well, there's a different story of what the future could look like, and that is, for me, the story of regeneration, a new paradigm that we should be working towards. What is regeneration? I think this sums it up quite nicely. We hear a lot about the word sustainable. Not a very high bar. That's just things staying as they are. We need things to be getting better and restoring what's lost and regenerating our systems.
This one is important, yeah. Okay, esto nos muestra muy gráficamente qué es, hacia dónde estamos hoy. Lo que es sustentable, sustentable es que se vendió durante muchos años, es básicamente hacer las cosas bien y dejarlas como están. Pero regenerativo ya es mejorar las cosas. O sea, generar un impacto positivo, ¿no? O sea, ese es un poco el concepto que hay detrás de todo lo que nos está contando Monty.
Amazing. And I just wanted to share this kind of real, kind of fundamental concept in ReFi, one of the frameworks that I really like, which is that we're very stuck in just thinking about financial capital and profit maximization, and that is our measure of wealth and success and GDP number go up. And we ignore that actually there's a much deeper set of capital that we need to be thinking about, from the living world, from material capital to social, cultural, intellectual capital. And we should be designing systems that are optimizing for that holistic set of capitals.
Hermoso. Ok, básicamente nos dice que hoy el mundo está basado solamente en el capital financiero y tenemos todos estos que podrían generar una forma holística de entender la realidad, la salud en sentido humano y que, bueno, es lo que debería, hacia lo que apuntan justamente las finanzas regenerativas, a no quedarse solo en el capital, ¿no? Sino ir a todos esos otros elementos que hacen a la salud real, ¿sí?
Here we go. So, basically, we need to be thinking about regeneration in a more holistic sense as well. You think of regeneration, you probably just think of trees growing or environmental regeneration. Of course, we need that, super important, and thinking about that holistically, not just carbon, but biodiversity, soil, water, air, in regenerating our environment. But we also need to regenerate some of our social systems, the community structures, our culture, our politics, even our consciousness can be thought of in a regenerative way. And also designing regenerative economic systems. Having an economic system that's continually extracting wealth and power to an ever smaller elite is not a regenerative economic system. We need to be thinking about how it spreads among networks and communities.
Excelente. Básicamente es que no nos tenemos que quedar solo en el ambientalismo, que es súper importante y central por lo que vimos antes de los límites planetarios, sino que también hay que integrar lo económico y lo social. Creo que está bastante claro de ahí, ¿sí?
Cool. So that's my context setting for problem and regeneration. And now I'm just going to really quickly cover ReFi or regenerative finance as what I see as hopefully the way forward out of this mess. And so really, what are we aiming for in ReFi? We're aiming for a world where communities, local economies can thrive, where we can heal our fractured culture and society, and where finance is really, instead of being this destructive force, is serving all life on Earth, and really getting us towards this solar punk future, which I think, many at Edge are also interested in.
Este concepto de solar punk es muy interesante, es básicamente un mundo donde hay mucha alta tecnología, pero donde ya vivimos alineados con la Tierra, y eso es parte de lo que las finanzas regenerativas buscan, básicamente. Volviendo a esa visión holística, en donde las finanzas ya se pasan y se enfocan en financiar la regeneración y no más la movida financiera, la bicicleta financiera que tristemente ya conocemos bien en Argentina.
Amazing. So how do we do that? Well, we can leverage some super powerful technology stacks that are emerging in the world and put it towards that vision of a solar punk and regenerative future, from the world of blockchain and Web3 and DAOs to regenerative economics and the academic new thinking around how do we design these systems, to science and AI and also the community culture kind of building. So some of the key building blocks of ReFi. And there's a whole ecosystem of projects that are working on this problem, from structuring the data systems to regenerative agriculture and getting finance towards projects and people on the ground doing the work of regeneration with support of new technologies. And so, yeah, just highlighting this quote from Buckminster Fuller, because I think it really highlights what we're trying to do in refi. Instead of just working within the confounds of the existing financial system, existing institutions, actually what we need to be doing is building a new system that is better than the old system and inviting people into that and growing that. And that's our vehicle of change, rather than staying locked in this current paradigm.
Beautiful, friend. Thank you. Básicamente lo que nos contó recién es las herramientas que hay. Can you go 3 more to the back? To the back, yeah. This one. Acá nos muestra los diferentes elementos en donde hay tecnologías que ya están siendo aplicadas para este tipo de soluciones. To the next one. Acá lo que están viendo, esto es lo que en el mundo Web3 se llama ecosistema. Todas estas son organizaciones trabajando en diferentes cosas, ¿ok? Para tomar dimensión un poco de lo que está pasando. Y lo último es este señor Buckminster Fuller, que es un genio hermoso del siglo XX, yankee, que básicamente acá nos está diciendo no hay que luchar contra lo viejo, sino construir algo nuevo y dejar lo viejo obsoleto, y ahí avanzamos, evolucionamos colectivamente.
Amazing. I'd love to give some more tangible examples, but I'm already going over time here. So I'm just going to quickly introduce RefiDAO, the organization I've helped to co-found, and not going to go into everything there. But just some of the key concepts. We are establishing these different local nodes, local communities across the globe who are trying to bridge the stuff that's going on in this global space of technology and finance, and bridge that with local projects and people on the ground doing the work.
Bueno, básicamente la organización RefiDAO, Finanzas Regenerativas DAO, las DAO son un tipo de organización del mundo Web3 que significan organizaciones autónomas descentralizadas. Es un emergente que está saliendo en el mundo Web3 en donde básicamente se coordina de manera más o menos descentralizada utilizando herramientas como lo que se llaman contratos inteligentes y demás. I'm giving a little context of what a DAO is. Y RefiDAO lo que está haciendo es justamente todo lo que venimos hablando, trabajando en conectar organizaciones locales, generando hubs locales. Hubs se le dice como bueno, grupos de gente. Esto sería un hub. Lo que nosotros estamos haciendo acá es un grupo de gente que está trabajando en una misma dirección, ¿no? Con un mismo foco, básicamente. Y lo que RefiDAO hace es, se van armando nodos en diferentes partes del mundo que se arman desde gente desde ese mismo lugar, y ellos facilitan herramientas y finanzas para que se desarrollen y generen más impacto.
Amazing. And so, yeah, we've got these communities across the globe who are exploring this technology and trying to implement it in their local contexts, from hackathons to events to tree planting to beach cleanups, whatever that looks like in their local place, and identifying those local needs and opportunities, which we might start to do today in the exercise. And we've been funding and supporting a network of these refi nodes across the globe, Franz and Changuito representing the refi Argentina as well. So, yeah.
Bueno, este mapa les da una idea de todos los nodos locales que ya están funcionando alrededor del mundo, ¿no? Y esto es un ejemplo claro de cómo hay una descentralización y cómo hay gente uniéndose al margen de las instituciones existentes para crear algo nuevo, ¿no? Y es parte de lo que estamos queriendo hacer hoy con todos ustedes, digamos. O sea, como que ustedes sean representantes locales de lo que podemos llegar a conectar y armar con este ecosistema. ¿Ok?
Amazing, cool. So that's just some happy smiling faces of people. Oh, look, Franz is there. There we go. Great. Yeah, so that's the vision, really. How do we build this new economy, new culture, new society, and new systems to form this kind of network-like nation across the globe of people who are really inhabiting in this new system and building this regenerative economy?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Ok, el Region Coordination, me encanta el concepto, Coordination, una nación que se está coordinando, ¿no? Coordinación sería en español, y cómo se está ya trabajando en una nueva economía, una nueva cultura, nueva sociedad, nuevos sistemas para generar esta nueva nación global que ya vive desde otro lugar, ¿no?
Awesome. Cool. So that's RefiDAO, and this is one of the latest things we've just launched called the Localism Fund. And so we've been doing some fundraising and have raised an initial seed fund of around $200,000 that we're then seeking to incubate to support local communities across the globe who are doing this work and actually participating in local systems, whether that's local political systems or creating new local currencies or cooperatives in their area, building new political systems that are driven by the community, preserving the culture of that place, the identity, the traditions, the heritage, even bioregional organizing, And of course, kind of ecological localism of the stewardship of the land and the commons that sustains that local area. So that's Localism Fund.
Okay, Localism es como la nueva fase en la que se está trabajando desde RIFA y DAO, que básicamente lo que está generando es, se hacen fondos de financiamiento para organizaciones que puedan generar mayor impacto. Y esa es la parte central. Esto es lo central de todo lo que vamos a estar trabajando después, para ponernos con energía de todo lo que las organizaciones planteen acá, es con lo que después nosotros vamos a ir a Localism y aplicar a esto, ¿ok? Para básicamente sostener y bueno, generar mayor impacto, ¿no? O sea, conectar con lo que está pasando en Web3 y que de ahí se pueda financiar impacto a las organizaciones, ¿no? Que estén haciendo realmente.
Awesome, yeah. And so to support that, we're looking to see how Ethereum technologies can actually support those new local systems, the governance, the resource coordination, and all of the amazing technology that many of the builders here are building and bridging that into the local. And so we're trying that out here whilst we're here in San Martín, and we're starting a kind of localism de los Andes, where we can say, okay, we've got these amazing builders and things going on, we've got incredible local people and local projects going on as well. How can we bridge those two worlds? How can we support with technology, with capital, to support the development of localism here, and then hopefully spread that across Argentina and other areas as well in a locally driven, bottoms-up way. So if you want to join that and you haven't already joined the Telegram, scan this QR code and you can join in the Telegram group. So yeah, that's basically the end of my presentation. So yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks, mate. Sí. Thank you very much. Acá si pueden y con su celular saben ya hacer el QR, se van a sumar al grupo de Localism de los Andes. Nuestra misión, como les dije al comienzo, es hacer el puente entre ustedes y lo que se está construyendo acá, pero aparte entender cuáles son sus necesidades nos va a permitir trabajar con Localism para que esto se mantenga en el tiempo. Básicamente es eso. Así que, habiendo dicho esto, now is the time for you to show what you got. Show me what you got. Ok, ustedes, ahora la idea es que vamos una organización por una, ok, a presentarse ustedes y contarnos un poquito, bueno, lo que nos trajeron para contar, ¿sí? Esa es la nueva fase del encuentro. Y después vamos a ir al workshop. Gracias, Monty. Gracias, Monty.
Hola, hola.
¿El que presenta va a venir acá? ¿Como micrófono o con esto? Con eso ahí lo activo. Micrófono y esto, o sea, parados. ¿Qué onda con la filmación? Está saliendo bien. O sea, ¿la van moviendo? Sí, ya está encarando todo, enganchando todo. ¿Quién viene primero? Si le digo que ahí le digo. O tirame la lista si la tenés. ¿Hasta en Notion? Acá está la lista, mirá. Luis Rodríguez, Puentes de Luz. Justo hablando de puentes, lo invitamos a que se acerque. Luis, vos 100% español era. Ok. Ahora voy a hacer el trabajo inverso, digamos. Toma, Luis. Ok. Acordate, Luis, a los 4 te aviso. Si puedo, van a tener que seguir. Claro, va a tener que hacer dividir el tiempo para que te traduzca bien.
Bueno, me voy. Hola, hola. ¿Sí? Bueno, nos vamos presentando. Luis Rodríguez es mi nombre, Edgardo Amenedo, director ejecutivo y presidente de la Asociación Puentes de Luz. La Asociación Puentes de Luz es una organización no gubernamental de San Martín de los Andes que tiene 19 años de vida y nos dedicamos al tema discapacidad. Para nosotros el tema discapacidad y familia no es sin la comunidad, ¿no? Básicamente nosotros estamos ubicados por aquí. Nuestra organización tiene tiene un espacio, esa es una vista aérea para que conozcan un poquito nuestro lugar. Aquí está ubicado el emprendimiento productivo Sabor Natural, del que les voy a hablar, los invernaderos, un espacio que tenemos con animales y un centro de día de atención terapéutica, pedagógica y de rehabilitación para personas jóvenes y adultos con discapacidad. Básicamente la organización se arma básicamente pensando en el adulto con discapacidad y tratando de responder algunas preguntas iniciales que después se fueron transformando en otras más importantes. La pregunta inicial era después de la escuela qué iba a pasar cuando esos jóvenes en ese momento terminaran la escuela, cómo van a conseguir trabajo, cómo puedo generar un respiro familiar de alguna manera mientras mi familiar es atendido y qué pasará cuando nosotros no estemos. Esto por ahí es relevante para que ustedes lo sepan. En mi caso, más allá de que dirijo la organización, soy hermano de una persona con discapacidad y en el caso de Edgardo es padre.
Dame un segundito, Luis, y les voy contando. Okay, guys, basically Puentes de Luz is working with adults with disabilities, and they are very concerned of how an adult with disability can get included basically in the society.
Okay.
Voy a ser sintético también.
Sí.
¿Sí?
Bueno, me pasé una. Estos eran los problemas a resolver. ¿Cómo lo hemos o cómo lo intentamos resolver con esos programas que ven ahí? El programa de centro de día, como les conté, es un centro de atención terapéutica, pedagógica y de rehabilitación, un club de amigos que está dirigido por voluntarios en actividades recreativas, Sabor Natural, que es un emprendimiento productivo donde, digamos, de alguna manera producimos aromáticas y fruta fina y con eso creo que han recibido algún tipo de mermelada, que son las que elaboramos nosotros con nuestros jóvenes. Y el cuarto proyecto tiene que ver de alguna manera con el tema vida independiente. En números, Puentes de Luz tiene 35 empleados, 45 voluntarios y más o menos atendemos 97 familias, 97 personas con discapacidad. La gran preocupación de Puentes de Luz es la sustentabilidad, lo que nos quita el sueño. Siempre pensamos que íbamos a ser sustentables en términos del impacto que generáramos, pero bueno, más allá de lo social y de lo económico, también muchas veces la política también de los países tiene que ver. En términos de la utilidad y los grandes hitos que ha tenido la organización, en el 2009 trabajamos muchísimo haciendo incidencia pública o política para que la provincia de Neuquén, donde estamos, adhiera a la 24901, que básicamente tiene que ver con los servicios que se le brinda a las personas con discapacidad. En el COVID, la priorización de alguna manera de priorizar a las personas con discapacidad para que sean vacunadas justamente con prioridad, eso fue otro de nuestros hitos y desde el 2023 venimos trabajando también en incidencia de políticas públicas para promover la vida independiente.
Okay, guys, they are doing different things. Mainly they are producing artisanal products from here. They have actually a very beautiful jelly bean. I tried of Rosa Mosqueta. And they are also doing some, here in Argentina the word is not the same, but for you to understand, they are doing a political lobby so they can help the disability of the adults, basically, in a synthesis.
Bueno, en este momento en Argentina, digamos, hay una gran crisis entre los servicios que financia el Estado, que están desfinanciados y que hay una situación bastante compleja para que las organizaciones se sostengan. Algo de esto más o menos les conté ya, pero es importante saber que la organización tiene un presupuesto de unos 642 millones y un déficit, digamos, mensual de unos 13 millones, hacia unos 156 millones, con lo cual la organización todo el tiempo tiene que estar generando con un plan de contingencia diferentes tipos de cuestiones. El valor que se paga por los servicios hace un año que hoy se modificó, pero hace un año que estaba sin moverse. Entonces, un poco la inquietud de que Edgardo y yo estemos acá, un poco tiene que ver un poco con las grandes preguntas, porque ya hemos hecho mucho de todo lo convencional para tratar de ir en términos de la sustentabilidad de la organización, es cómo generar nuevas respuestas a los problemas de siempre al respecto del financiamiento de estos servicios, ¿no?
Excelente con el tiempo. Basically, their main problem is defunding. They are having problems with what they have as a cost and what they get as funding. So basically, that's their main problem. See.
Y básicamente es eso, un poco el gran desafío es buscar nuevos caminos.
And they are open to new ways. So because they tried everything and now they're looking for new ways. So I think it's very. Muchas gracias, Luis y Puentes de Luz, por la presentación. Y ahora, ¿quién sigue? Red de Escucha Comunitaria. ¿Sí? ¿Quién se anímese en inglés, por favor, por favor? Perfecto, vas y lo lees tranquila. ¿Está todo bien? Dale, hay un video. Ok. Pero lo vas a decir en inglés. Hermoso, beautiful. Beautiful. Porque tenemos el video, dale.
Claro,
El brief
we have a video. Well, good afternoon.
Okay.
¿Esto anda? No sé.
Sí, anda.
No sé si ellas quisieran en español también, pero bueno. Bueno, thank you very much for the invitation. We are members of the Red de Escucha Comunitaria. And we'd like to show you a brief video about the organization. This network was created in 2019 and it is supported by Fundación Salud para Todos. One of the biggest obstacles we have in Neuquén is the lack of local calibration for hearing aids. We don't have the proper technology and the qualified professionals for this area. We are trying to make our needs heard, and because we have to travel hundreds of kilometers to have our hearing aids calibrated, and that implies a very high cost. Well, that is the introduction for the video. Thank you.
Let's jump into something that affects millions of people. Okay, let's jump into something that affects millions of people, but is often met with, well, silence. We're talking about hearing loss. And it's not just about the ability to hear. It's about trying to navigate this incredibly complex maze. But the really interesting part of this story, one community found a powerful way to build a path right out of that maze together. So how hard can it be to hear? It seems like a pretty simple question, right? But for millions, the answer is anything but simple. The struggle to hear goes way beyond just your ears. It's a journey through a system that often just isn't built to help you. To really get this, we have to start right here. For someone with hearing loss, getting a diagnosis isn't the end of the problem. Nope, it's just the beginning of what is often a long and deeply isolating journey. You see, the struggle often kicks off with denial, and from there, it can spiral into feelings of shame, which leads to withdrawal and isolation. And of course, for people with fewer economic resources, this journey is even tougher. They often get pushed to the margins with almost no chance of finding any real help. But what if there was a guide through all this? A guide through that difficult terrain? Well, that's exactly what one community decided to build when they just refused to accept the way things were. This is the Red de Escucha Comunitaria, or REC. And their whole mission is what makes them so different. It's not just about handing out medical devices, it's about creating connections, fighting for people, and aiming for full social inclusion. They're building a community, not just treating a condition. And their impact? It's totally real. They have this community-run hearing aid bank, and through that, they've provided over 100 devices in just the last year. That is more than 100 lives changed by real, tangible support. So why is a group like REX so essential? To really understand that, we have to walk through the maze people face when they try to get help through the normal channels. And believe me, it is a labyrinth. Now, REC didn't just guess what the problems were. They actually did their homework. They conducted their own deep research, and they mapped out a system that is just filled with these frustrating dead ends and detours that stop people from getting the care they need. And this is basically what that journey looks like. These aren't just steps. Each one is like hitting a wall. It starts with just not being aware there's a problem. Then it's a huge hurdle to get diagnosed. Then a long, long wait for treatment. Then a struggle with maintenance, all while battling endless paperwork. It feels like each stage is designed to wear you down. And here's a crucial point. This is not an equal playing field. Your ability to get a simple diagnosis can depend entirely on your zip code or your insurance plan. I mean, in some towns, you need a specialist just to order a test, and then the local hospital might not even have the basic equipment. And let's say you clear that first hurdle, well, the wait begins. In the public system, it can take years, literally years, to get a hearing aid. And if you go the private insurance route, your options are often limited by business deals, not by what's actually best for your health. The technology exists, which is the wild part, but the support for it often doesn't. Just imagine having to travel hundreds of kilometers, maybe even to another province, just for a routine calibration. Without that simple maintenance, the device becomes useless, and eventually a lot of people just give up. So, when you're faced with this exhausting, demoralizing labyrinth, a person with hearing loss usually finds themselves on one of three very different paths. And two of them, well, they lead to despair. The REC study points to two common outcomes. First is the beggar's path, where you're constantly fighting and pleading for every little thing, only to get help that's inadequate and way too late. The other option? The path of abandonment. You just get so tired of fighting that you surrender to a life of isolation. Neither of those is a real solution, is it? But this is where the story shifts. REC is proving there's a third way. They are trying to fix this broken labyrinth from the inside. They're building an entirely new path out of it. They call it the collective exit. This new path is built on a really simple idea. You bypass the dead ends by bringing everyone to the table to create a solution that actually works for people. So what's the secret? It's not one single hero. The recipe for this collective exit is coordination. It's the organized community working hand in hand with health professionals from both the public and private sectors, with local leaders, with other nonprofits, and even with the government and private companies. And this really just gets to the heart of why it's so successful. The core idea is that when all these different groups work together, they can achieve what no single person or organization working all by themselves ever could. And that leaves us with a pretty powerful question to think about. This model is like a blueprint for tackling a specific, complex problem through community action. So it's worth asking, what silent labyrinths exist where we live, and how could we start building our own collective exit?
Red de Escucha Comunitaria. That was the Red de Escucha Comunitaria. I think it was very clear, the video. And now we will call Paola from the Club de Cosechadores de San Martín de los Andes. Oh, it's your moment. Okay, perfecto.
Hello. ¿Anda? Hello.
Hola, hola.
De Harvest Club. De Harvest Club. ¿Con cuál? ¿El rojo?
El de la chica. Un segundo, ahí te lo... Ahí está, justo. A ver, pásalo. No, el costado. Ahí está. Apúntalo para acá.
Bueno, hello. My name is Paola. Esta es la primera, me parece que ahí va. Contarles que esta primera foto es de la primera cosecha en el 2023, en abril del 2023. Somos un club joven.
Okay, this picture is from the first harvest that we made last April on 2023.
Les contamos que nuestra unión como club tiene que ver con amar los ciclos de la naturaleza. Organization.
we love nature and what did you say? Sorry, and cycles. And we like to share what the earth gives us. So that's the main.
Un poco nuestros objetivos del
Our
club
objectives of the club
tienen que ver con fomentar la concientización sobre nuestro medio ambiente y sobre nuestra comunidad en nuestro territorio.
Okay, we want to okay. To raise awareness and the environment. Okay.
Marcamos 6 objetivos y sobre todo queríamos poner el eje en crear una experiencia de unidad con la naturaleza, con nosotros mismos, con el respeto y con la armonía que tiene que ver vivir en San Martín.
Okay, we want to create an experience of unity and with nature, respect and harmony.
Un poco contarles que esta iniciativa que nació acá en el pueblo tiene que ver con ir a buscar árboles de manzanas, de peras, de ciruelas que hay por todo el pueblo y cosecharlos. Esa es como la acción que llevamos a cabo, la cosecha.
Okay, we try to localize trees, different trees, apple trees, all kind of trees, and we harvest. We are a big group to harvest, and then we sell that fruit for different purposes for different purposes. For example, last February we had a terrible fire. Maybe you hear about that. All the things that we, the resources that we get, we donate for the fire. Yes. Bomberos? How would you say? Fireman. Okay. Yes.
Este es el caso que sucedió en febrero de este año y que pudimos reorientar la cosecha juntando, dijimos, bueno, vamos a cosechar, ¿qué hacemos con esta fruta? Y con esa fruta comenzamos a venderla, íbamos a la playa en pleno verano con nuestras bolsitas vendiendo tipo 1 kilo de ciruelas amarillas. Los vecinos nos llamaban para que vayamos a cosecharlas. Y entonces logramos esto que queríamos como traerlo para mostrarlo, como para inspirar que con algo tan simple que está alrededor nuestro se pueden hacer un montón de cosas. Juntamos 600.000 pesos, se compró un carro que se donó a Parques Nacionales para transportar materiales, guantes que necesitaban los brigadistas, anteojos. O sea, tal vez no parece una mega suma, pero fue como una acción bien concreta con las frutas. Después, en las fotos que recopilamos para esta presentación, está Ciro, que es el hijo de Majo, el socio número 1, que come toda la fruta, que está ahí como siempre con nosotras yendo a todos lados a cosechar. Y un poco los desafíos que vemos como club es concientizar, ¿no?, sobre los árboles, sobre su valor en la tierra, que somos uno, que entonces valorar esos frutos en la comunidad, y creemos como un desafío por venir crear un mapeo de todas las especies que hay en el territorio. Es como que prendí la radio, tío.
Es importante lo que recolectaron de capital y cómo usaron eso para, me parece que lo más interesante para que sepamos ustedes.
Okay. Yes.
Creo que era el anterior.
Las dos atrás, creo.
Eso, ¿no?
Okay. During the summer and part of the autumn, we collect 600,000 pesos, and they are all destination for the fire problems. We can buy a car to transport water in that place that is really hard to get because there are difficult place to get with normal cars and that things. We can buy 96 pairs of gloves and 10 glasses from night protection. So Pao said that we want to get conscious that how many things we can do with a little bit effort, like with little things, because we are a really small group of people that love earth, love food,
Sharing the
cooking. We cook.
Yes.
Yes, and with a little bit effort every week, we can help a lot. So
Yes.
that's we want to share with all of you.
Yes, all of these. Okay. Close. This collecting the money, we did it with great effort because everybody, every one of us, went to the park and started speaking with each one we came across. You know what's happening with this stuff? You want fruit? Yes, yes, yes. And so it was a huge effort for us in any case, and they gave us the money that was useful, and it was then that we tried to do like massive selling with WhatsApp mainly, and that did not work as the personal part of going and selling personally. So I think that was our main difficulty in this doing that we came across igual exitosamente. We did it anyway.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, cosechadora. Ahora vamos con Federico, sistema de alerta de incendios. Altermundis.
Yes, hello.
Acá los invito, si quieren, se pueden sentar como hicieron las chicas ahí, van a estar recómodos. Y si quiere otro usar el micrófono.
Well, hello. Good afternoon. My name is Fede, and we are here to present our work. We have been working on this system for the last year. We are kind of proud of it. We came from Córdoba, and this is a wildfire early alert system based on AI detection. Where to start? It has been a long journey. We have the same problem. We came from Córdoba. Wildfires are like a recursive and sensitive issue we have there, here in San Martín too. So, it doesn't work. There you go. Well, smoke can get difficult to detect. It's tricky, and it can get confused with clouds, mist, even dust in the air. So we didn't know anything of this when we began. So we started to work with LLM, like multimodal LLMs. I think it was Olmo, the first 15 billion parameters model we could like run locally and start making tests. It was very difficult to detect, many errors. So we finally we are now working with YOLO. YOLO-based models is you only look once. You may know it from Ultralytics. There is a whole framework they have built. It's open software. And well, the fact is, when you use stock systems, they don't work. And you have to fine-tune them on local images. So dataset became extremely important. We like learn all this on the way. And we have a system, a working system. There you have it. Yes, it works. The fact with this is that it was like too far away from the site we were working. So it was like an unexpected problem. The system is working too well. It's 30 kilometers. And this is the first node we deployed in Córdoba. It's La Serranita, La Rancherita, and La Serranita is in front of it. We are deploying the second node. Oh, sorry. So the system is simple. At this stage, is we are using poles or existing towers to mount 4 cameras and a simple module with Raspberry Pi. It grabs images, sends them to a server. We have a dedicated on-premise server. We are working with Anisakate, how you call it? Cooperatives. Yes, they work on telecommunications. So we have the server installed there. And what else?
So with the different works, yes. When we started understanding the importance of the data set, we built this dashboard system. So we can store all our pictures and then keep training our model with every time we have more pictures, right? So basically what we need is keep deploying nodes so we can have more pictures and more true positives to keep training our model, right?
Yes. So we build this dashboard system. On the background, we have automation, all on-premise system. So the core of the system is this call to the model. Now you can see the output, the raw output of the model. The YOLO takes inputs as image inputs, and outputs directly the bounding boxes with the objects the system has detected. So the fact is that smoke is hard to detect. We start like training on 2 categories, which was fire and smoke, and we endly gave up on fire and just keep smoke detection because we are aiming at early detection, and smoke is the way to go. I mean, when there is fire, you have a smoke. So from this simple system, we just make detections and then manage alerts where users are going to subscribe. Now is like a testing system. We are subscribed to it from a month now. It's working. Now the SciNet, which is the core of the system, you can see how it was like consistently gaining or improving. Like, I don't know if you know something of this, but these are recall versus accuracy measurements through the versions. I think this is the most significant outcome. When we started working with YOLO, we could drop the how would you call it? The calculation, the inference time of the system. Now we are on very, very, very quick. No, this is not the graph. So we are at about 5 milliseconds, 6 milliseconds per image. So we throttle the system. Now we started with 5 minutes between images. Now we are working with 1 minute between images, and we are scaling very fast. We are deploying nodes. What else can I tell? Last but not least, we are, since there's this issue, we have found that when you train 50-50, like true positives and false positives or negative images, you don't get good results because since we are training a system that has to find very rare occasions, like on the raw image income, you have these very few events which are true positives. So what we found is like this proportion, it has to be like 95 false to only 5% true. So now we have to scale the data set up to 100,000 images with approximately 5,000 positives. So we started generating synthetic with Nano Banana, and we are testing that with great results. Like for next iteration, we are working on it. Thanks for hearing.
That we forgot to talk about this, but we have already been meeting here locally. Were you going to talk about this? We have been meeting here with the fire department, and we are trying to have this dialogue. So I think that this group could greatly help to make this materialize. To maybe when we leave Edge City, there's a couple of nodes installed here.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Muy bueno. Now we call Roman to the stage.
I'm not sitting there, friends. If I sit on a puff, I may have to stay overnight. So I'll do it stand. Good afternoon. My name is Roman. I'm local. I'm the head of the Fundación Somos, and I'm going to tell you about us. ¿Lo vas scrolleando tú? So, we're talking about the grounding the prospective economy into Neuquén. We work around the whole province, so we have a view territorially above the whole province. It's not only local. So, so who we are? We see as a key territorial actor from Neuquén. We are local. We believe absolutely in multiple capital. That's what Monty told us a minute ago. Multiple capital, not only as a concept, but activated throughout designing solutions, co-generate and projects that can be achieved. Si quieres, pasando. Video. Video, okay. Now we have a video that tell you some things about us. This video will show you some scenarios from Neuquén. Many kilometers. Little people, so you're gonna see a lot of pictures surrounded by So, as I was telling you, over 15 years surrounding the province with a deep local presence. We like small towns, we like villages, we like rural communities. We don't have focus on what I call the 5 great cities of Neuquén. So we try to be present in the most remote areas of the province. This is Neuquén, this is Buenos Aires, 1,700 kilometers from here. This is Neuquén, and this is the political administrative so, organization. So in green, you will see the places where we are present with projects, with people that work with us. So we're proud to say that we have been, we are active in more than 50 places inside the provincia, such as small towns and rural communities. Aquí viene otro videillo. shaving a sheep. It's not shave. It's not shaving. Or shaving. Once El Rápido takes the sheep and place the sheep on its spot, the sheep remains calm. So he doesn't have to tie up the legs of the sheep. He's a magician. El Rápido. This is a very beautiful thermal place in Neuquén. It's called Cabiagüe, Copagüe, and this is a thermal installation called Las Máquinas. We also have geothermal energy in Neuquén. This was a hotel built in the 1940s. And how we do it? We do it thinking in people. Our focus is in the people. People that have real needs, so we like to think on real solutions. We like to work for the childhood and the adulthood. We don't have it, we don't make any difference over them. So we like to accompany them with campaigns, with donations of books, in that case, designing projects. Sigmo? And this is what we believe. We believe that to move from a challenge to a multiple capital legacy, we have to follow these 3 steps. So map the system or the territory, co-create the solution with people, not only us. It's not a work of individuals, and together scale the impact with finance. We have a methodology. This methodology is based on strategic diagnosis, scientific evaluation, and graphic integration. We believe that these 3 steps will give in this case, you people, a very good picture of what we believe and what we do. I may skip some slides, maybe to reserve them from these 3. Keep going. Yeah, I'm closing. And because yeah. and this is our closing slide. So the ecosystem and the prosperity need our knowledge, not mine, not only yours, our knowledge. We have the knowledge of the territory. We know the territory, we know the people. So we invite you to DeFi Neuquén, la última. Right? Let's DeFi Neuquén together. DeFi as decentralizing the finance.
Can you help me with the slides, Tony? Thanks. Un segundito. Hi. Wait. Le piqué el link acá, creo. Ahí está el link. Dame un segundo. Sí, bueno. Acá está. There it is. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Mariano Roman, Head of Innovation and Technology at Bitcotesma. Wait a minute, I lost. The innovation base of Cotesma Cooperative in San Martín de los Andes, Patagonia. Our goal is clear, to turn San Martín de los Andes into the main tech hub of Patagonia
connection, education, innovation, and community. Next, thanks. It's already called the Crypto Valley, a place where technology, creativity, and sustainability live together with nature and quality of life. Several national universities, next, thanks. UTN, UNCO, Universidad de la Patagonia, UGMA, and ITBA are planning to open programs and labs here. A big milestone in that San Martín de los Andes was chosen to host Edge City Patagonia, a global innovation event with 15 thematic residencies, including Regent House focused on regenerative development. This event brings researchers, tech builders, and creators from all over the world, turning our city into a living life of decentralized innovation. Our city already shows a young but growing tech ecosystem with real examples of impact. Lemon, one of the Argentine's top fintech company, set part of its team and operation here to test product and user experience. Tuki, a local startups, represent a new generation of Patagonian entrepreneurs joining innovation with local impact. Patagonia Labs, an incubator, runs acceleration program, hackathons, and residencies, linking regional talent with global innovation. Together with CONICET and Conservación Patagónica, we design projects that connect science, technology, and environment. Bitcotesma is now working with Nextide Consulting to map local actors, skill, and infrastructure, building the foundation for the Patagonian Tech Hub Master Plan, connecting academia, industry, government, and citizens. A Bitcotesma will drive the vision through three main areas: learning platform, course and robotics, AI, digital fabrication, video games, and tech entrepreneurship; living lab, a space to experiment, test, and co-create new solutions from Patagonia; interface zone, a bridge between university, company, and the community to turn ideas into innovation. We know that Argentina political and tax system is still evolving, but they are positive change. That's why our model is flexible, based in cooperation and partnership between public and private sectors, keeping progress even during change. Next. I invite to join this vision, a generative tech hub born in the heart of Patagonia, where education, innovation, and sustainability grow together. San Martín de los Andes is already Argentinian Crypto Valley. Now it's time to make it epicenter of Patagonian innovation. Thank you.
Let me check. Okay, we have our, the organization knows who is, ¿no? ¿Sabes quién es? ¿Quién sabe? Ok. Que sería, ok, 4:37. Good timing, Mariano. Very good timing. Okay, Natalia Sarmiento from Carem. That's you. This will be our last organization, and after this we will go to the mapping synergies. Okay, I know this is taking more than what we expected, but Ryan, if we don't, Ryan, may I ask you, if do we have a time limit with the place? 9. Ah, okay, then we are fine. Okay, that it will depend on your energy and su energía. Okay, si tenemos energía podemos seguir tranquilos, ¿no? Ok, buenísimo. Yo estaba ahí con el tiempo porque estamos como pasadillos. Bueno, el techo tuyo. A las 8. Ok, perfecto. Ahora vemos qué hacer. Sí, let's talk there. No, I mean this place. Sí, sí, sí. Pero hablemos nosotros ahí, Ryan. Todo tuyo, Griego.
Okay, I'm very nervous. I'm going to do my best here. Well, like you see, San Martín de los Andes is a very beautiful place. Maybe you can experiment the nature here. But also, we had a very big problem. Every day in San Martín de los Andes, San Junín de los Andes, over 100 tons of waste end up in an open-air dump site. Imagine for a moment those mountains of trash releasing smoke, toxic liquids, and methane into the air we all breathe. So, well, that's our problem. Uncontrolled leach, fires, and methane emissions, inefficient recycling and lack of traceability, and loss of touristic value and reputation. Okay, today the dam site is the main environmental liability of the region. Now, picture the other side. That same waste transformed into clean energy, recyclables that turn to the economy, and fertilizer that nourish the soil. So we have 4 objectives with our project. First, capturing biogas and turning into clean energy. Number 2, recycling plant. We already have a plant we call Sirve for material recovery. Number 3, composting and sludge treatment for fertilizer. And number 4, community incentives through a local token program. Okay, so this is our model, a circular system that turns liabilities into measurable assets. Okay, so we can, where our inputs, solid waste and sewage sludge, recyclable materials, leach, and emission reductions. And our outputs, electricity and heat, recovered and sold recyclables, organic fertilizer, and carbon credits. Okay, this has a direct impact in our society. We can reduce the greenhouse gases. We can generate a generation of clean, renewable energy, local job creation, and environmental education, and stronger sustainability, sustainable tourism identity. This project also is scalability and has a social impact. This is more than an environmental plan, it's a social model. The community becomes part of the solution, rewarded for separating waste and protecting the environment. We can replicable the model for other Patagonia cities, educational and traceability platform, and active community participation through digital incentives. So we have a big choice to make today. We can keep paying the cost of inaction with the trash that we made, or we can invest in our future and we can turn all that waste in energy, in health, and in opportunity for all the society.